No, there won't be a refund on that though. We won't refund the fast pass.
Now, y'all, here's where the whole situation really started to blow up. Because it wasn't just about two 18-year-old girls not following the rules at the fair. The second that video hit the internet, it turned into a full-blown debate about privilege, attitude, and whether Diddy's daughters think the rules don't apply to them.
Hey, yo, we need to have a serious conversation about all these fake participation trophy awards coming out of Hollywood lately, yo. This latest one is straight up nasty work, yo. They just invented this new award and gave it to Halle Bailey as a PR move in light of her legal battle with her baby daddy, Diddy. Straight up nasty work, yo. These fake awards, man, we can't let Hollywood get away with this, yo.
The clip shows Jesse and Delilah sitting in the ride, phones in hand, completely unbothered while the worker repeatedly tells them to put them away. You can see him gesture toward the safety sign, then lean over and say it again. Not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. And still, the phones stayed out. That's when the worker signaled for them to get off, and you can hear people in the background react like, "Oh, he just kicked them off." Now, depending on who you ask, the worker was either doing his job or going way overboard. Some witnesses say he was barking at the girls, using an aggressive tone that made it feel personal, not professional. Others say he was calm at first but got fed up when the twins just weren't listening. Either way, it turned into a public scene. And because these are Diddy's daughters, you already know the cameras came out instantly. On social media, people started splitting into sides. Some argued, "Look, it doesn't matter who your dad is, rules are rules. If everyone else has to put their phone away, so do you. Period." Others fired back with, "But the worker didn't have to embarrass them in front of everybody. He could have just waited until the ride was over or handled it privately." And that's the thing. When you're the kids of someone like Diddy, every little incident gets magnified. Regular teenagers get kicked off rides every day for not following the rules, but nobody cares. With Jesse and Delilah, it instantly became front-page gossip. Some fans even said this could be a wake-up call for the twins. They're stepping into adulthood, they're about to be college-age women, and now that they're 18, they're not seen as little kids anymore. People are going to expect them to carry themselves differently, especially in public. No more, "Oh, they're just kids" excuses. When you're grown, you get treated like it. But here's the part that's sparking the most drama. A few insiders are whispering that the worker might not have even recognized who they were at first.
So on August 8th, Halle and DDG had a little court session trying to basically figure out how can they come to an agreement about their child. Mind you, Halle wants 100% custody. She does not want to share it. She wants full rights. She doesn't want DDG to have any say-so in Hello's life. I don't get that, because why would you let them have a baby with a man where you don't want him to have any say-so or any to know anything about the child? Why? What has he done so wrong in the child's life that he doesn't deserve that? I need answers. But DDG is requesting 50-50 custody where they both have, say-so, which is kind of okay, because Halo's gonna be good on both sides of the family. Whatever happened between y'all two, that's y'all business, but come on now. Both families love Halo. But there was no agreement reached at the mediation, so as of now, they're gonna have to go to court, and everything has to be put in front of a judge for him to basically say what's gonna happen. So Haley's team and DDG's team had to both figure out enough evidence to prove who should get what at this point. And then they have their DD case coming up, and the same lawyer who's doing the child custody situation is the same man or woman who's gonna be doing the DD case. Let's talk about it in the comments.
To him, they were just two girls ignoring the rules. But once things escalated and people started filming,
I just wanted to give you guys an update on the DDG and Halle custody battle. They had mediation on August 8th, and they could not come to an agreement about custody for Halo. So now they have a new custody hearing scheduled for August 20th. Gotta say, I'm a little worried for DDG in this case because fathers don't tend to come out well when you go to trial for these things. So what do you guys think the holdup is? Do you think DDG is the one being difficult, or do you think Halle's the one being difficult? Halle's already said that she, wants him to have only 6 hours a week supervised with his son in a visitation center. To me, that is extreme. That is a bit much for someone who you haven't accused of harming the child. You didn't say he harmed the child at all. So why would you think that he needs 6 hours of visitation in a facility, not even in his own home, but in a facility where a stranger is watching over them when he hasn't harmed the child? To me, that's extreme. Okay, but we'll see. I don't know what DDG is asking for. Maybe he's asking for something extreme, but to me, what Halle is asking for and what she put on paper is extremely extreme. Okay, but that's what the judge is there for. Hopefully the judge will see through that and be like, okay, this father has not been accused of neglecting his child, abusing his child, doing anything harmful to his child, so why this extreme? Because honestly, guys, that's what they give parents who have been neglectful, abused their child. Sometimes that's what they give parents who have even SA'd their child in some states. I don't know. I just feel like that's really extreme. I feel like in that regard, Halle is being very unreasonable. Okay. But who knows? Maybe that's not even what she was asking for come August 8th. Maybe on August 8th, she changed her mind and she was asking for something different. I don't know. But we're going to have to see at the hearing on the 20th.
He realized exactly who he had just kicked off. Some say that's why he doubled down and stood firm, because he didn't want to look like he was playing favorites. Others think once he realized they were Diddy's daughters, he actually got harsher just to make a point. Either way, the internet ate it up. Clips of the incident are being reposted everywhere with captions like, "Diddy S twins get humbled at the fair," or "Orange County worker wasn't having it." And let's be real, that's the other layer here. The whole humbled conversation. Some people genuinely feel like this was a reality check for the girls.
My question is this. Well, let me not show my badge. My question is this. Why do Halle, don't really want DDG to have full custody, not full custody, custody period, or really don't want the child with him? Why is that? Because it do give she's very mad, very bitter, and I understand, okay, if he did hit her, right? If he did hit her, cool. But this is a child that you guys got involved in. You depriving that child from a father. So it's you don't feel guilty or upset at yourself for doing that just for your child. Because I'm not gonna lie, if it was all for me, boy, give me a break here. You going to your daddy house every other week. It's what is going on now?
They're used to luxury, private jets, VIP treatment. But the fair? That's real life. And in real life, no one cares about your last name if you're breaking the rules, but not everyone is on board with that narrative. Others say, come on, they're teenagers. Who didn't sneak their phone out on a ride? Who didn't bend the rules at 18? If this wasn't Diddy's daughters, we wouldn't even be talking about it. And honestly, that's true too. The only reason this moment became a story is because of who their dad is. Now, what's interesting is that, so far, Jesse and Delilah haven't spoken out. They haven't gone live. They haven't made a statement. Nothing. Which is unusual, because a lot of times celebrity kids jump online to defend themselves when something like this goes viral. But maybe they're taking advice from their family to just let it blow over. Still, the timing couldn't be worse for Diddy. With all the other scandals and investigations swirling around his name right now, the last thing he needs is his daughters trending over something that can be painted as entitled behavior. Even if it was minor, even if it was just a misunderstanding, it still feeds into the narrative that the Combs family is under constant scrutiny. And let's not forget, every time his kids go viral, people immediately connect it back to him. It's not just Jesse and Delilah's reputation at stake. Fair or not, it always circles back to Diddy, and the critics are using it as another chance to pile on. So yeah, in the grand scheme of things, this wasn't the biggest scandal in the world. They weren't arrested, they weren't banned from the fair, it was just a ride. But the internet doesn't work like that. To the internet, this was the perfect storm. Famous last name, rebellious teenagers, a public confrontation, and cameras rolling. That's all it takes to go viral in 2025. And honestly, this might just be the first of many stories we'll hear about Jessie and Delilah as they step into adulthood. Because if one thing's for sure, growing up under the spotlight means even the smallest slip-ups turn into headlines. Alright, so while the Diddy twins drama was still simmering online, the internet quickly shifted gears and started pointing fingers at none other than Halle Bailey. And y'all, this is one of those stories where the details might seem small, but the way social media reacted, it turned into a full-blown dragging session. Here's what went down. Halle recently shared that she was honored with a special award from the city. She posted about it proudly, showing off the certificate and thanking people for recognizing her work. At first, it looked like a wholesome, celebratory moment. But then Twitter, X, did what it always does. People started zooming in on the award itself, fact-checking the wording and questioning whether the honor was actually as legitimate as Halle was making it seem. Some critics claim the certificate wasn't from the city at all, but rather from a smaller committee or organization tied loosely to city events. Basically, they're accusing her of dressing it up like it was a big official citywide recognition, when in reality, it may have been more like a local acknowledgement. One viral comment said, "Halle made it sound like she got the keys to the city. Girl, that's just a participation certificate." Another user wrote, "Stop trying to gaslight the internet, we can read. That is not from the mayor's office." Now, on the flip side, Halle does have a history of being genuinely celebrated by communities, especially after her success with The Little Mermaid. Cities, schools, and cultural groups have been showing her love left and right, so it's not impossible that she received this honor. But the way she presented it left room for people to twist the story. And when you're a celebrity, perception is everything. This snowballed fast. The hashtag Halle lying even started trending for a few hours. People compared it to past situations where celebrities exaggerated their achievements or made something sound more official than it was. Some even brought up past drama with her sister Chloe, saying the Bailey sisters sometimes come across as out of touch or trying too hard to prove themselves. But here's where it gets deeper. A lot of fans are calling out the double standard. They argue that plenty of other celebrities accept community awards, post about them, and nobody cares. It only becomes an issue when it's Halle. One fan tweeted, "Why do y'all drag this girl for every little thing? Beyonce could post a thank you letter from a fan, and y'all would call it iconic. Halle posts an award, and suddenly it's fake news." That's an important point because it highlights how Halle has been under non-stop scrutiny since The Little Mermaid casting. Every move she makes gets dissected in a way that feels harsher than other young stars. Some people think this isn't indeed about the award at all. It is about people not wanting to give her her flowers, no matter what. Still, the optics weren't great. If the award really wasn't from the city itself, Halle's post could be seen as misleading. And in an age where screenshots live forever, once people decide you lied, it sticks. Now she hasn't responded to the backlash yet. No clarifications, no extra context. She's staying silent. That could be smart, because sometimes letting the drama die down works. But it could also make things worse, because silence lets the rumors spiral. So now the internet is split once again. Was Halle just excited and posting something in good faith? Or was she intentionally making it seem bigger than it really was to boost her image? The bigger conversation here is about trust and authenticity. Fans today are hyper-aware of celebrities curating their image. The moment something looks staged or exaggerated, people feel duped, and they lash out. And unfortunately for Halle, she's become a lightning rod for those conversations. At the end of the day, whether or not the award was official, the backlash proves that the internet is waiting on her every move. They're ready to pounce on the smallest thing and turn it into a trending topic. That kind of pressure can break a celebrity if they don't handle it carefully. So, what do y'all think? Was this just another case of Halle being unfairly dragged, or do you think she actually played it up too much and got caught? Drop your thoughts below, because this one might not die down until Halle herself sets the record straight. So here's where things really start to heat up, because this wasn't just a random internet dragging. It turned into a full-on investigation about whether Halle Bailey was being misleading or whether she was simply misunderstood. Over the weekend, Halle was honored at the Maternal Health Summit, an event focused on postpartum depression, maternal health, and the struggles new mothers face. It was organized by a nonprofit called Project Pitt, which is a small but very dedicated group that advocates for women's health. At the event, Halle received something called the Halo Award, named after her son Halo, and of course, she shared the moment online. On Twitter, Halle wrote, "I want to thank the city of Los Angeles for this incredible honor. To be recognized for speaking up about maternal health and my own postpartum journey is really humbling. Just a reminder that vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a bridge that connects us all." On the surface, this looked like a powerful, heartfelt message. She was tying her personal journey into a broader cause, showing gratitude, and positioning herself as a voice for maternal health. But the problem? That one line, "Thank the city of Los Angeles," became the center of controversy. Fans immediately started digging, and what they found split the internet in two. The Halo Award itself has the City of Los Angeles logo at the top. That gave Halle some ground to thank the city. But at the same time, the award was technically given through Project Pitt as part of the summit, not directly from the city government or the Mayor AS office. And this is where the dragging came in. Critics accused Halle of deliberately making it sound like she had been honored by the city itself. DJ Academics was the loudest voice in this. He reposted the screenshots and said flat out, "Fans find out Halle Bailey didn't receive an award from the city of LA. It was actually from a company with 4K IG followers called Project Pitt. PR agency also photoshopped the weight gain away." And listen, Academics knows he's the last person who should be talking about anybody's weight, but he wasn't the only one pushing this narrative. A viral fan post claimed, "No, this award isn't given by the city of Los Angeles. It's just part of the Maternal Health Summit organized by Project Pitt, with local partners, not the city itself." So now we've got two stories. Halle saying she was honored by the city, and critics saying it was just a small nonprofit making it look bigger than it was. And honestly, the truth is somewhere in the middle. If you actually break it down, yes, Project Pitt was the organizer. Yes, the award came through them, but they did partner with local city departments for the summit. That's why the city logo was on the award. Technically, Halle wasn't lying. But did she exaggerate it? That's where fans feel she crossed the line. And here's the bigger issue. When you re a celebrity at Halle's level, every word you post gets magnified. Saying "thank you to Project Pitt" would have been totally fine and celebrated. But by making it sound like the city of Los Angeles itself gave her the award, she opened herself up to accusations of clout chasing and inflating her accomplishments. Now supporters are defending her. They argue she was just showing gratitude, that she didn't mean to mislead anyone, and that the backlash is rooted in people already having an issue with her. Some fans even pointed out that it feels like Halle can't win. If she doesn't post about her award, people will say she's ungrateful. If she does post, suddenly she's lying. But the damage is done. Once DJ Academics and blogs like The Shade Room get a hold of a narrative, it spreads like wildfire. Now Halle is being painted as someone who lies to boost her image, and that's a hard label to shake. At the same time, this also exposes how harsh the internet has been on her compared to other stars. Like, think about it. If another celebrity posted about receiving a city award, people would clap and move on. But with Halle, every little detail gets fact-checked, dissected, and turned into a scandal. So here's the question. Did Halle knowingly exaggerate, or was this just an honest misstep? Either way, it shows how fragile celebrity reputations are in 2025. One small caption can spark a whole narrative, and Halle Bailey just learned that the hard way. And trust me, this isn't the last we'll hear about it, because this controversy is only fueling the next chapter of internet drama. So the award came from the Maternal Health Summit, so there is no confusion about that. But here's the part people need to really understand. The event was hosted in partnership with LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell's office, which means yes, the city of Los Angeles was technically involved. That's exactly why the city's name and logo appeared on the award in the first place. Now, was it the mayor personally stepping on stage and handing Halle Bailey a plaque? No. But was the city's name tied to this event, giving it an official stamp of recognition? Absolutely. So technically, Halle didn't lie. She did get recognition at an event that carried the city's name. The problem is the way it was presented online. Her post read like it was a massive citywide honor, when in reality it was more of a nonprofit award with city backing. To her fans, that's still a huge accomplishment and worth celebrating. But to her critics, it came across like she was inflating the importance for PR. And let's be honest, in the age of social media, perception is everything. Now, here's where it gets even messier. Some people think this entire narrative is being nitpicked just to tear her down. They argue it's a case of people waiting for any reason to drag Halle Bailey, whether it's her relationship with DDG, her body changes, or her parenting. On the flip side, others believe Halle was deliberately hyping up the award because she has another court date coming up for her custody battle with DDG. They see this as a calculated PR move to present herself as a strong, inspirational mother figure in the public eye. And you know how the internet works. Once that theory started spreading, it only gave more fuel to the dragging. Suddenly, people weren't just debating about the award, they were pulling in her personal life, her baby, her relationship, and her ongoing drama with DDG. What should have been a celebratory moment got twisted into yet another controversy. Now it's all about perspective. Was this a proud mom sharing her accomplishment? Or was it a PR play that backfired? Either way, the conversation shows just how closely Halle is being watched, and how quick the internet is to pounce on even the smallest slip-up. So I'll leave it right here. Do you think Halle was being misleading, or is this just another example of people dragging her for no reason? Either way, one thing S for sure. The spotlight on Halle Bailey isn't going away anytime soon, and every move she makes is going to be picked apart. That's all for now. But trust me, the next chapter of this story is right around the corner. Stick around because this ride is only getting bumpier.